Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Akakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother / elder. Shalom and salutations to you all. It's the WW3 Daily Update, Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, he hath taken against Edom. O trusty stand by Jeremiah 49 and 20, and his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Let's talk about the small hat Amalekites. This is the Wolf Report 2 hours ago. Israel in flames, Yemen strike. Woo! Let's watch the let me go back real quick to this one. This is the Wolf Report a day ago. Let's take it to right here. Let's take it from the top. Now listen to what he says. From the top. Where does it say? China and Russia back who? Yemen. That's Ezekiel 38. China and Russia back Yemen. We'll do that math in a second, Lord willing. Let me get some of this.
Today we are witnessing a moment in global politics that demands our full attention. There is panic stirring in Israel, and the reason is not trivial. China and Russia, two of the world's most formidable powers, have reportedly extended their support to Yemen, a country already struggling under the weight of conflict and instability. Now,
that's all we need. Now, that was yesterday. Let's fast forward to today. And what is R.D. Wolf Vision saying now?
If you're using ChatGPT,
he's saying commercial. Slovakia. Let's get the Bundy Wolf here. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Go.
Friends, what we are witnessing right now is nothing short of historic, an event that will be remembered, analyzed, and debated for decades to come. Israel, long thought of as a dominant military power in the Middle East, is facing a moment of shock, of vulnerability, and of global attention.
Woo!
The headlines read, Israel in flames. Netanyahu runs as the airport explodes.
Woo!
Yemen shocks the world. These words are not just sensational, they reveal the unraveling of assumptions, the collapse of a narrative, and the rise of a new geopolitical reality. And the question we must all ask is this: what does it mean when the seemingly unshakable begins to shake?
It means, then shall the dragons, the Yemeni, have the upper hand. Then shall the dragons have the upper hand, right?
Of Israel, one word has long dominated the conversation: invincibility. For years, Israel has been portrayed, both by its leaders and by its allies, as a state that cannot be broken, cannot be penetrated, and cannot be brought to its knees. Billions of dollars in military aid, the latest defense systems like the Iron Dome, international backing from the United States and Europe.
They better get their ass back over there real quick if they're backing them. They got to go and save them. So the Most High is going to remove far off the Northern Army. That's next. You see that.
All of this has built a narrative of power so overwhelming that many believed no regional player could ever challenge it. Yet today that image has been struck not by a superpower, not by a nation with limitless resources,
but by, let the weak say I am strong,
by Yemen, a country ravaged by nearly a decade of war, famine, and blockade. The question before us now is clear: if Israel can burn, if Israel can be shaken, what does that mean for the myths we've been told about power, security, and dominance
in Babylon the Great?
Consider the psychology at play. Israel has thrived on projecting not just military strength, but inevitability. The message was simple: resistance is futile, opposition is hopeless, and the state's power is eternal.
Uh-oh. The whole truth is coming out. The whole truth. guess what?
Israeli public, this was reassurance. For its enemies, it was intimidation. For the global community, it was justification for turning a blind eye to the occupation of Palestinian lands and the suppression of dissent. But here comes Yemen with its drones and missiles, with its resilience forged in desperation, shattering that aura of inevitability in one night. The flames at the airport, the chaos in the airspace, the scramble for safety. These are not just physical events, they are symbolic ruptures in the very story Israel has told the world about itself.
Boom. Let's stop right there. And I'm going to just go out right here to Joel. That explains it. Joel 3 and 10. What did they do? They got stronger munitions. I can't go out like that. Beat your plowshares into swords. Better missiles. Pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. It's talking about the Houthis. This is Ezekiel 37. Salakia 38. And why are the Houthis, right? Why are the Houthis let me read this first. Why are they suddenly strong with those new weapons? Somebody's helping. Ezekiel 38 and 2. Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So, land of Magog is talking about Russia, right? Here's Iran, okay? And it says Gomer, which is Turkey, Togarma, Syria, all of his bands of the North Korea, and all his bands. And there's China, many people with these. So I said we were going to prove it. So you got Russia, land of Magog. Who are those many people? Well, who's over there fighting with Russia right now? Well, the North Korean, many people with thee. And China, many people with thee. All his bands. Who's that? It's a lot of fighting soldiers. Now, here's the point. Why did they get those new weapons? We'll look at this in a couple of different ways. Get ready, because this is what the Most High is telling, right? The word of the Lord came to me saying, right? Be ready, right? Telling Russia to get ready. This is a message to Russia. Be thou prepared. Who's thou? Russia. Okay. Understand that first. Tell him, who's him? Russia. To get ready and have all his troops ready at his command. Be prepared, yes. Prepare yourself. You. That's all one. And your army that I've gathered, and then it goes further than that. No, it goes, wait, that I've gathered around you to protect you. No, there's something better. Because it's being very, let's read it here first. It's being very specific. Be thou prepared, that's not about Russia, and prepare for thyself. Okay, you get ready and make sure you have what you need, meaning munitions. You and everybody else, right, that has been dispatched, if you will, for you. North Korea, China. You got to make sure, prepare for yourself, Russia, make sure you got everything you need, and then everybody that's going to fight with you, and then make sure that you got their back. Okay? Make sure you got China, North Korea, you got to have their back. Okay? Yemen, Venezuela, you got to have their back. What does that mean? It goes further. It says make sure they got the ammunition and the shit that you need. After many days, call to arms. What is call to arms? You be mustered. Call to arms means you're gonna be fighting. Called into action, right? After many days, you'll be visited, right? So like, read that up here. Let's talk about getting towards the kingdom. Let me see. But the point I'm making is the war. Okay? Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. That's why Yemen is striking deep into Israel, and no iron dome or nothing can stop them right now. Right? Why? Because they're about to get the upper hand. They clearly are. Is anybody reporting this? He is.
Think of the hook in this reality. A nation that once defined the battlefield on its own terms suddenly finds itself reacting.
And they're not reporting. They're keeping this out. They're shooting up the press. This is what they're trying to suppress by killing or by deleting or unaliving what? Anybody that could bring out the truth. So the famine of the word got to be here because they don't want this out. They got to shut down the whole internet. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to this. This is huge. Paradigm shift right here.
Treating and reeling from blows delivered by those who were supposed to be weak. That is not just a
Let the weak say, he said it, not me. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Blows delivered by
blows. How? Blows delivered. Strikes those missiles. Let's go back to that. Let the weak. Right? Because why? Those missiles are in there. Where'd it go? The missiles are there. Swords, spears. There's the missiles. What are we talking about? Getting better missiles to be able to strike further in. Right now we're whooping ass. And Richard Wolff is telling you this. They were given hypersonic cruise missiles. There they are. Take that old shit, motherfucker, in here. Hot wire this. Put this over there. It's going to go faster. This is going to make it invisible for 20 seconds. I'm just, speculating. Beat your plows. That's what this means. Make a better missile. How? With the help coming from Ezekiel 38. Make sure that they got what they're here. Take these missiles. There they are. Let the Houthis whoop that ass on the battlefield. And he's describing it.
Who were supposed to be weak. That is not just a military setback, it is a psychological earthquake. For Israelis watching their leaders scramble, for allies observing from Washington and London, for rivals in Tehran or Damascus, the message is loud. Israel is not invincible.
What are we seeing? Let the weak say, I am strong. I want to hear more. I want to hear more of this.
And its strength has limits. This realization will not fade quickly. It will linger in the minds of investors, policymakers, and ordinary citizens alike. Let us take this further. What happens when the image of invincibility cracks?
What happens to Babylon the Great?
History teaches us that once the myth of overwhelming power is punctured,
then they get on the embassy in Vietnam and try to get the last thing smoking off the rooftop. Or that helicopter, was it? That jumbo jet leaving Afghanistan, right?
So perception changes dramatically. Think of the United States in Vietnam. Think of the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. Think of the British Empire in India. Each case demonstrates the same principle. The first successful strike against a supposedly
Let's get that real quick. What's he talking about? Let's get. What is that? Saigon. Last bird. Last bird. What does this mean? Last bird Saigon. Let's see what comes up. Last bird Saigon. Saigo. Let's see what comes up. Last bird. What does that mean? Last bird Saigon. Let's see if the helicopter comes up. Final sacred bird. Here. Last bird Saigon. See what that means. I just made that up, by the way. And we can watch probably this.
By 1970,
Slovakia.
violated the Paris Peace Accords. By 1974, North Vietnamese troops had violated the Paris Peace Accords and renewed their assault on the South. It was clear the Republic of Vietnam would fall. In April of '75,
this is what's happening in Israel right now.
North Vietnamese troops approached the southern capital of Saigon. President Gerald Ford ordered all U.S. troops and citizens out of the country.
Permit the movement of refugees to the area of their choice.
And on April 29th, armed forces.
Last bird. That's not the last bird. We'll see the last bird.
Radio began playing White Christmas to signal an evacuation was underway.
Last bird Saigon.
Captain Gerald Berry was assigned to rescue U.S. Ambassador Graham Martin. The mission evolved into an 18-hour day of shuttling people to an armada of ships waiting in the South China Sea. And as Berry flew toward the U.S. Embassy in Saigon, he could see enemy tanks approaching the city.
So I landed behind the embassy, said, I'm here to get the ambassador. Because I'm thinking somebody told him I was coming to get him. Well, then somebody else gets on the phone and said, well, the ambassador isn't coming. I said, well, really? I said, I'm supposed to get him. Well, no, he's not. So take a lift of these. So they loaded Vietnamese on.
In the early hours of April 30th, despite multiple flights with hundreds of evacuees and with time running out, Berry uttered 3 words that meant it was imperative for the U.S. diplomat to leave.
I'm not leaving the roof until the ambassador's on board.
That's not the last bird. This is the last bird. Slovakia. I have to see this because it's pertinent to what we're watching right now. So this, wait, let me see. I'll show you the last bird. It's an iconic image. This right here. This. Okay. Last bird Saigon. This. Was that a Huey? Look at all these people. Last bird Saigon. See, the North Vietnam running up. These people are like, these are American diplomats, whatever. Americans. And a bunch of Vietnamese that were siding with them. Now they're about to die, right, at the bayonet thrust. Now they're running for that. So this is what happened then. What, 74, 75? Look at this. Last bird Saigon.
Like swarms of helicopters. That's the way the Hancock and the Midway, both out there, they were both big deck fixed wing carriers, and they changed them over, repainted the spots, and made them helicopter carriers. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Now, how about this? C-131. I don't know if it's a C-131. Last bird. out of AFI. A-H, A-F, G-H-A-I-S-T. Like that. Let me see what that brings up. This famous, yep, that's it right there. So these are famous clips. The same thing in Vietnam. Niggas are up in the wheel wells and shit. The nigga was in the engine. Same thing. Okay. What's happening in let me get back here. What's happening in Israel right now? Let me see. Israelis. Let's type this in. Israelis. Leaving let's see what they gotta be leaving and they're not saying nothing. 2 months, year, yeah, no, sorry. Today. Nah, they're not leaving today. They're just over there taking it on the chin. Till 6 years. See, they real good at expunging shit. They're not at the Israelis at airport. Bombing, B-O-M-B-I. Today. See, we ain't gonna get nothing. How are they leaving right now? Israeli airport. Drone attack, Roman airport. Are they leaving? Are they getting the fuck out of there? They're not saying nothing about it. They have to say that at airports are getting hit. What are they doing? They're just, we're just gonna chill. No, they're getting the fuck out. Okay, like that other thing. Like the airport is burning.
Unstoppable power reshapes the battlefield, not just militarily, but morally and politically. Yemen's strike.
Are the Israelis leaving right now, trying to get the last thing smoking?
Israel now joins that list. It shows the world that determination, resourcefulness, and resilience can pierce through walls of arrogance and technology.
Let the weak say I'm strong. Shalom.